Okay, welcome to Chapter 1. So in Section 1.1, we're talking about functions. So a function is basically like a machine. The formal definition is basically given up here at the top, but it has to do with inputs. You're going to usually input values, tend to be x values that get input into functions, and then we're going to output other values. All right, so each input can only go with one output. That's what it constitutes a function. So think about them as being machines. You're going to plug something in. There are going to be operations that happen, and then something else is going to be output. Now, function notation, our typical name for a function is going to be f, but we're going to input something into the function. It's going to go inside a set of parentheses typically, and then it's going to output something different. All right. So we can read this off as output is f of the input. Makes more sense when you actually have numbers coming with it. On this next example, or I should say the first example, and I do realize that it says example 2 while it's really the first example on these notes. Let's not worry about that. I didn't like the first example. All right, a function n equals f of y gives the number of police officers, n, in a town in year y. So let's try to interpret this function and figure out what does f of 2005 equals 300 tell us. Okay, so the input here, it's important to note, is y. And y represents the year. This is just a preliminary getting to know what functions are and reading a word problem. So because 2005 is being plugged into the function and y is plugged into the function, we can say in the year 2005, then our output is going to equal 300. Well, n is the output as it's been defined up above, and n is the number of police officers. All right, so in the year 2005, there are 300 police officers. All right, don't worry, there's not much like this on your homework or on the exam, but it is important to start getting used to reading math a little bit. So kind of lining up and saying, well, if y's in this spot, what does y represent? Or if n is over here, what does n represent? Reading word problems is an important skill. So hope this helps out a little bit as you get going on this.